Hey, Natsu here. Today I'm going to do part 2 of what if Deku had the powers of the one-tailed beast. Um, Someone placed a comment that he deleted, but he was telling me, why don't you just say, what if Deku had the powers of, well, the guy that has it? I think his name was, um, hell, I don't even remember what it was. All I remember is that the one-tailed beast is called Shokaku, but I'm still going to just call it the one-tailed beast. But yeah, like I said in the last video, well, in the first part, it is not the power that you have when you have it in you. You have the power of the one-tailed beast directly. So he can, well, he is made of sand when he wants to. He can heal a lot. If you want, he can become smaller. Since I know there's an arc where basically every tail piece were drained from energy and were basically the size of your hand, basically. So yeah, if something is able to take Deku's energy, Deku will just become small, which is extremely cute. Basically, chibi Deku. So, yeah. In the last part, I ended it right before the UA entrance exam. So, when the exam happens, um, well, they arrive, and, well, Bakugo and Deku arrive together because both of them are friends. Um, I remember saying that Momo was going to be with Deku, but I do have one thing I need to recheck. Okay, so I went and checked. I don't think I actually did say that who was going to get one for all. I was thinking of Ochako, but basically it's going to be chosen later. If I didn't, if I said it was someone, I'm going to make sure later. But yeah, for now it won't come in for a while. Wait. Okay, yeah, it was her. I just wasn't sure that much. But yeah, Ochako has it. She does have it already. But most of the time, how she uses it is just boosting her own quirk. Because, let's say, her body isn't able to take it all that much yet. She does have muscle, but she used it once, broke her arm partially, and decided to try and augment her muscle mass before using it again. Sorry about that. Okay, so when they arrive in the UA entrance exam, um, the only difference with the Deku is, compared to his anime counterpart, is his eyes. He basically has the same eyes as all Shokaku, plus some of the marking on his body, like So yeah, some of those marking that he has on him, like on his arm and over his eyes, he has the same. And just like for Shokaku, it's basically just completely black with a small yellow dot in it. So when he's transformed, he looks exactly like that. So that's not really a lot of difference. As well as now, being 14 years old, or 15, if I remember correctly, when he is in that form, he is basically stronger than anyone. Simply because Shokaku is. Yes, he is the weakest of the tail beast, but the only reason humans were able to compete one on one against him was because they were cheating, kind of. Basically, they were or reincarnated and, well, not reincarnated, but revived and had a massive amount of chakra, or, well, actually, they never fought against him directly, but when they fought against the guy that had him, which does make their power a lot weaker, so it wasn't really that much of an exploit. Well, they weren't really how can I say this? It was impressive, but not for the strength he truly had. That's more like it. So basically, for the written exam, um, both Izuku and Bakugo got the same. Then for the um, well, against the robots, in while President Mike was talking, basically Ida still interrupted him, saying that there's a fourth robot, without talking about Izuku, since he isn't muttering. Once it's over, they go, and there, I'm going to give Deku one thing in particular, which is that just looking at someone, he knows if they have a lot of strength or something. Because basically in Naruto, they can sense the amount of chakra in someone. I'm giving him that type of ability, but more like just energy and power in usual. So the stronger you are, or the more potential you have, the more he's going to see some type of aura around you. Which, looking around, he doesn't see that big of auras until he looks at Ochako, which he sees a lot of it. And he's just thinking, that looks like All Might. It's weird. Are are they connected? Then President might start counting and he just decides to think, okay, yeah, no, I don't have to think about that for now. I have to fight. And the moment President Mike says 0, Izuku starts running at full speed and matching Ida, with Ida being surprised by that. The moment it's the moment it starts, Izuku just kind of creates sand from his body and basically sends it towards robots and cut them down. Basically making a sand blade to cut them, or making the sand enter the robots and basically break the electronics inside. So, for a while, what he's doing is basically or killing, well, destroying robots. When someone is about to get hurt, he basically sends his sand to basically take the danger away. Um, when, well, when someone is really about to get hurt, he basically just grabbed them with his sand and put them somewhere else, like just taking them away from there. He is able to fly by putting sand under him. So most of the time he's basically just flying, if not running. Because he broke a lot of robots. He still breaks them, but now he's mostly looking out for people and mostly looking out and trying to find Ochako because he wants to see why she has so much strength in her, but she doesn't look that strong, and the way she acts isn't that good either. Well, the way she fights, I mean. Which, after a bit, Izuku decides to just think, okay, yeah, it must just be because she has a lot of potential, and that's what I'm seeing. So he decides to just try and see later what happens with her, since he sees that she's going to be able to get in UA. So after a bit, he's literally not even looking at her anymore. And after, when the teachers decide to send the 0 pointer, Izuku sees it coming, and then he just sees Ochako before she even asks for help. When she finally does, he just kind of um, pops out of it, and suddenly he just decides that I have to save her. I won't be strong enough. I have to save her. I have to do something. And just overloading his mind with just protect that person. He basically just runs towards her, makes Sand to basically push the rock away and to launch her, and right after that, the robot is basically way too close to him, and he's like, shit, I need to protect her. And his body just starts transforming, growing, growing, and growing. Every time Deku activates, well, the last times he activated that, every time it was in strong emotions. Basically, every time he was doing it, everyone just saw that leave him alone. As long as you don't try to attack him, it's okay. Practically nobody knows about the kid, just knows that someone has a quirk that basically, if he's stressed, he turns into that. And basically, they just see suddenly a giant freaking sand tanuki appear as that's almost bigger. Well, that is a bit bigger than the 0 pointer, and basically just hit it away. Ochako's basically on top of, well, in it, in a bubble of air, and not able to see anything, but she's totally protected. The teachers are basically acting out a bit, and All Might, in his skinny form, because, well, no, So, yeah, while she is inside of Deku, the only instinct his body is acting on is protect the girl and destroy every robot. So basically, after the one punching the zero pointer, he basically just sent a lot of his sand around and broke every last robot without touching anyone else. Once every robot was gone, he basically started on transforming. Ochako fell on the ground, and basically everyone in the arena just saw the kid on transforming completely nude and passing out because it takes a massive amount of energy for him to transform. So when it was finally over, Izuku basically destroyed through about 300 points in robots because of the end with what he did, getting a massive amount of hero points, and everyone basically just saw a kid trying to protect someone, transform into a giant beast, untransform, and passing out. So when Recovery Girl came to see, she helped Ochako, then they asked for him, which, while looking at him, she literally saw that he was perfectly fine. There was no damage on him, as if nothing happened to him, or as if he was able to heal, which he is, because you could literally rip off his head and his body would transform into sand, everything would basically regrow, and he would have his memory for some reason. Literally, as long as you don't destroy his body completely, he is fine. Because the Santanuki is made of chakra, which is energy, so as long as his energy is still there, he can reform. Deku, well, his mind is basically energy, and as long as a part of his body is still there, he can go back into it. Also, since the Santanuki doesn't age and can live forever, and that Deku basically is it perfectly, except one or two things that I'm switching because if not, it would be way too terrifying and hard to do as well. So, yeah, he might live forever. Who am I kidding? He will. He will get stronger over time. His monster form is already way stronger than All Might. Even in 200 years, no quirk would be strong enough to defeat him. So yeah, if you want to kill him, try very carefully to destroy every bit of his body. That's basically what I'm saying. So once she told everyone that he was perfectly fine, Bakugo saw them. Saw when he transformed and was basically flying because over time he did train to get his quirk better. And after seeing Deku using his scent fly, he basically tried doing the same with his explosions. And he's able to fly for a long amount of times and extremely easy to control. So he was literally flying through all the way to the city. He landed, everyone was like, what the hell? And he basically said that he transformed seriously. With Ochako saying, yeah, but to protect me? Why? With Bakugo saying that, well, she's lucky he was thinking about doing that, because normally it acts only on instinct. So if you were there, if he was only thinking about protecting you, you were lucky for that. So after a bit, Izuku woke up basically in the infirmary of the school, even though he's not allowed yet. Well, not in yet, even though he will be. Basically, Bakugo, Inko, and Ochako were waiting next to him. Ochako would say thank you, Bakugo because, well, they're best friends, and Inko because, well, she's going to have to bring him back later, which Bakugo will have help in doing that. So, when Ochako told him thank you and asked him why his body was perfectly fine, Bakugo said, like I told you, as long as like I told you before, he can regenerate. Which says, yeah, but how? Which Deku says, as long as a part of my body is still there, for some reason, I just regrow it. My body just turns into sand and regrow whatever part is missing. So, no matter the harm that is done to me, if I have time to transform, I am perfectly fine. Which Nezu and Recovery Girl are like, that explains why. Then Nezu asks Izuku what the form was, which Izuku explained that, well, his quirk is way different from both his parents, which is possible in the world. It's called a mutation that happen. Well, it's a mutation that can happen, which basically what happens is that the quirks, well, in My Hero Academia, quirks can or be you get one of your parents' quirk, a mix of your parents' quirk. An example of that is Bakugo, or both of your parents' quirk, which for that one is Todoroki. There is something other. There are two other things that can happen that are extremely rare for their world, for that world, which is someone with two parents having a quirk, being quirkless, Izuku, for an example, and then you have people that have a quirk that is totally different from what their parents' quirk is. I'm trying to find an example of that, but I can't find anything. Because Jiro, her mother, has the earphone jack. The guy that has a head that looked like stone, his mom is the same. So yeah, I don't know if there's actually someone we saw like this. But yeah, basically they think it's just that, which kind of is. Except that his quirk is basically way overpowered compared to anything else. But yeah, he basically explained that he can control, create, and become sand practically at will. There is a limited amount he can create from his body. After that, he needs to wait to make more, but during that time, he can just send it to in the ground and make more sand that way. When he transforms, he basically doesn't control it. That form basically acts on instinct 100%. He is awake in it, but he doesn't have any control over it. Which Nezu asks what he means by that, and he said, and Bakugo basically just says he becomes an animal, a wild one. All he thinks about is protecting himself or things that is close to him, or if he thinks about it strong enough, protect people in particular while destroying a precise enemy. Since the first time he transformed, he tried multiple times to control it, and if he is stressed or in danger, he transforms automatically. And we've never seen someone strong enough to actually fight him once he is in that form. Which Nezu says, "Are you sure? All might be able to." Which Izuku says, "Well, I was told that the first time I transformed, All Might was actually the one of the people that actually tried to stop me, and just to not harm me, we know he didn't try to attack." Which Nezu thinks, "So, how strong were you in that time?" With Bakugo saying that the first time he did it, he actually punched All Might through a tree, and that All Might said that it hurted a lot, but that he was still able to fight. So, basically, Bakugo says if we count the increase in power that he got, well, talking about Deku, I'm pretty sure he could probably beat All Might in that form. But since he can't control it, it's not really useful. So Nezu tells him that you will be accepted and probably go in class 1A. You have made the greatest score in history of UA and probably will never be beaten. Then Izuku asks Ochako, "Why do you have so much power?" Which she kind of asks, "What?" Which Bakugo, which knows basically every abilities of Deku, tells her that he can see an aura around people that is basically their stamina, strength, and potential. So if he's asking you that, what the hell? How much strength do you have? Which she says, "Not that much. Why?" Which Izuku says, "Because it's almost as big as All Might, since the last time I saw him 10 months ago." Which Nezu, Bakugo, Inko, Recovery Girl, basically all just like, "Wait, what?" And I'll look at Ochako, with her saying that all she knows is that her quirk is basically pointing, well, showing her hands, saying that what she touches with all 5 fingers, she basically makes it weightless, well, takes off the gravity of it over it, and that, well, she doesn't know what else she could have. Then says that she did, for some reason, a while back, um, at one point, well, while trying to train, some type of energy formed around her arm and broke it, but because basically she wants to explain why it could happen at some time. And Izuku's like, "Huh, so you can do that and you had a second quirk that only activated in that moment? That's interesting." When afterward, they basically Recovery Girl said, "Okay, everyone out." We waited to know what his quirk was and see how he was doing. Now that we know, he can go back home. So basically, everyone leaves. Nezu decides to go talk directly to All Might and ask him about, well, the kid, because he said that he once punched All Might strong enough to make him say it hurted a lot, and All Might said, yeah, I remember about him. The first time I met him, he was like 4 or 5, I think. He transformed after his friend, um, young Katsuki, actually without wanting to, hurted him with his explosions. It was an accident, but it was the first. They told me it was the first time it activated. I think even a punch at 50% would have actually only made him angrier, which is false. He could have took him down with a punch of 25% easily, but he doesn't know that. Even though now there's pretty much nothing that could stop that form. So, All Might is told that he is going to be in 1A, and that he should keep an eye on him. So, everyone else get their letters, everyone else pass at about the same amount, except Bakugo, that is a lot stronger. So yeah, everyone in Class 1A is in Class 1A, don't worry about that. Sorry about that. Um, so yeah, after a bit, Izuku, well, no, I'm going to stop it here before the first day of UA. So, what do you think of this theory? I actually like it a lot. If there is any capacity that Shikaku has that I don't know about, tell me in the comment section. I'll go try and see if I can find it. If yes, well, I'll add it to the list of power Deku has. If you have any what if ideas that you want to tell me, I'm going to see if I want to do them or not. There are multiple things that I will not do, like a Spider-Man what if. In my what if class 1A had different quirks. Um, the guy with multiple arms has spider-like powers. The next part of that is actually going to come, um, well, I would say tomorrow, but it's more like later today. Um, so yeah, if you liked it, leave a like. I had fun doing it, so hope you liked it. Natsu, oh, I want this. Okay, Natsu.